Dear students, let me know about the concept budget line and budget set. What is this budget line? Budget line means it is the graphical representation of the different combination of two goods which the consumers can purchase with the given level of income and the given prices, such that the cost of the income, the cost is equal to his income. In other words, we can say that budget line is the locus of different combinations of the two goods which the consumer consumes and whose cost exactly equals his income. It is locus of different combination of two goods which the consumer consumes with his given income and given prices, the cost or the prices should be equal to his income. That is called as price line. That we can explain with the help of an example. If a consumer has income rupees 20, we can write M is equal to 20 rupees. If a consumer has income rupees 20, in that 20 rupees he wants to purchase two commodities. Here I shown X and Y. Each of the commodities price is 10 rupees. Each of commodities price is 10 rupees. That means X commodities price is 10 rupees. Y commodities price is 10 rupees. So, consumer has his income 20 rupees. In that 20 rupees he wants to purchase the two commodities. That means he can purchase different combination of that two commodities in his given income, which the cost exactly equals to his income. So, in that he can purchase the different combination. Then here he cannot purchase, he is not purchasing the commodity X, then he can purchase two quantities of or the two units of commodity Y. That means 10 into 10, it is, so 10 plus 10, it is 20 rupees. So, one commodity's price is 10 rupees. That without purchasing the commodity X, he can purchase the commodity Y, that is 2 units of commodity Y he is purchasing, that the cost is equal to his income, cost is equal to M. Then he can purchase the 2 units of commodity X and there is no money is left to purchase the commodity Y. So, here I written it is 0. This is one of the combination. Then one more combination he can purchase, that is the 1 units of the commodity X and the 1 unit of commodity Y. That means it is the 10 rupees plus 10 rupees, it is 20 rupees. So, his income is completely spent. That means in all these 3 bundles or these 3 combinations, he can make the purchase of 2 commodities with his given income and the given prices. So, this is called as budget line. I think you got the point. The budget line means that is the different combinations of 2 commodities a consumer can purchase with his given level of income and given market prices, that the cost should be equal to his money income. That the formula or the equation we can write in this way. It is the P1. P1 means it is the price of a commodity X1. So, P1 X1 plus P2 X2 is equal to M. So, here we can take it is X1, this is X2. Instead of writing Y, we can write it is X1, this is X2. The price of X1 it is, we are right here P1 X1, the price of X2 we are written here P2 X2, we should be equal to his money income. So, we are using the equation for the budget line, it is P1 X1 plus P2 X2 is equal to M. So this is called as budget line, or it is also called as a price line. This is also called as price line. I said there is another concept that is called budget set. So what is this budget set? Budget set means it is collection of all the bundles available to a consumer at the existing price and at his given level of income. It is consisted of, it includes all the combinations of two commodities, all the possible combination of two commodities the consumer can purchase his given level of income and at a given market prices. Here there is not using of his money income exact, or means we can say that the cost should not be equal to his money income. So he can spend some amount of money to purchase the two goods. That is called as budget set. So budget set, the equation we can write in this form. It is P1 x1 plus P2 x2, the smaller than or equal to money. That I said, the budget line, the consumer can purchase the two commodities, the different combination of the two commodities which should not be exactly equal to his income. The cost should not be equal to his level of income. It is lower or below of that money income. So that's why we are writing this budget set formula P1 x1 plus P2 x2, the less than or equal to money income. So budget set is also called as a opportunity set. It is also called as opportunity set. That is, it includes all the possible combinations of the two commodities which the consumer can purchase with his level of income and at a given market prices. The market prices we are writing in P1, P2, and the commodities, the quantity of the commodities we are written here x1 and x2. So this is called as the budget set. So the budget set we can explain with the help of a diagram. So here one is the diagram that there is a OX axis and OY axis. OX axis we are written here bananas, that is x1 we are written. Then OY axis we are written, it is mangoes, that is x2 we are written here. So there is the straight line. That means in the budget line I said other than these combination, other than these three bundles, because when graphically represented these three bundles we will get the straight line. We will get the straight line. We can take it is OY axis and OY x axis. Here it is banana, or we can write the commodity x1, then the commodity x2, that the three bundles or the three different combination we are graphically represented here. We will get a one of the downward sloping straight line. So this line is called as a budget line. This is called as a budget line. Here there are the combination, that is the combination 0 to 2 0, then 1 1 combination we will mark here, then we will get a one of the straight line, that is the downward sloping straight line. So that straight line is called as a budget line or a price line, where there is P1 x1 plus P2 x2 should be equal to M. So when we are written there is the combination, we should, the cost or the price should be equal to his money income. So this is called as the budget line. So other than these three bundles, the consumer can purchase the different combinations. So he cannot be purchased, that is both the commodities. He is not willing to purchase both the commodity. He has the money income, it is 20 rupees, but he does not wants to purchase the two commodities. Then combination will remain 0, 0. Then he can purchase 1 units of x1 commodity. He can purchase 1 units of x1 commodity, and he does not want to purchase x2 commodity. Then the combination will become 1 and 0, and if he does not want to purchase the commodity x1, then he wants to purchase the 1 unit of x2 commodity, then the combination will become 0, 1. So we will get there are a bundle of combination. We can write here it is 0, 2 and 2, 0, then 1, 1, then 0, 0, then 1, 0, then 0, 0, 1. So other than these three bundles, we will get, or the consumer can purchase two commodities. So these, that is 202, 20, 11, 00, 10, 01. That means his money income should not be equal to his cost of goods or the cost or the prices of the commodities. So that is called as the budget set. So there are the combination. Other than these three bundles, there are some other options, other bundles, that is called as the budget set, which a consumer can purchase in his given level of income. So all the possible combination of the two commodities, there are other than these three combinations, the consumer can purchase, that is more of these options there to purchase the two commodities. So that is called as budget set. That budget set, that's why we are written that the cost should not be equal to his money income in the budget set, but in the price line or in the budget line, that the cost or the price of the goods should be equal. It is exactly to his income, but here when we return, it should not be exactly equal to his income, but below of that income. The cost should be below of that his income. That's why we are written the P1 x1 plus P2 x2, the smaller than or equal to M. That I shown here. He cannot be purchased both of commodities. He can purchase 1 unit of commodity, unit of x1 commodity in that 20 rupees, then he can left 10 rupees in his pocket. So without purchasing of x2 commodity, means the x1 commodity price is 10 rupees. By purchasing 1 unit of x1, he spent 10 rupees, then again 10 rupees is left in his pocket. That means he does not want to purchase the commodity x2, means his income is left in his hand, that is below his cost. Income is below of his cost. So we can say that without purchasing the commodity x1, he can purchase the commodity, it is x2. So here also there is the 10 rupees is left in his pocket. So this is possible in the budget set. That is why budget set means it is the collection of all the possible combination of two goods. But here all the combination of two goods should be purchased that exactly the cost is exactly equal to his money income. That's why the budget set we can explain with the help of a diagram. I said in the OX axis it is bananas, OY axis represent it is mangoes. When we join, when we plotted all these bundles, we will get the downward sloping straight line. This is called as budget line. This is budget line. So we are written here P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is equal to M. So in this graph, what we can understand? In this graph, that is the collection of the bundles in the positive quadrant, collection of the bundles on the positive quadrants, that is on or below the line. So, on the price line or below the price line, that is shows the budget set. So, that is budget set means that is the bundles on the line or below the line. There are combinations should be on the line or the below the line, that is called as the budget set. And if the combination or if the bundles are on the line, then it is called as the budget line. So, if the bundles of the combinations on or below the line, if the combinations are below that price line, then it is called as the budget set. If the bundles are on the line, then it is called as budget line. Then we can see here there is a two intercept on the straight line. So, there is two intercept on the straight line, that is the horizontal intercept, we are written it is m divided by p1, that there are two intercept in the budget line, the straight line, that is one horizontal intercept n divided by p1, and in the vertical intercept there is m divided by p2. There are two intercepts. That horizontal intercept shows that is the bundles on the straight line. The horizontal intercept states that the bundles on the straight line, that the consumer spend his income, the consumer spend all his income to purchase only bananas. If we take the earlier example, here the consumer spend his 20 rupees only to purchase bananas. The horizontal intercept m divided p1 states that here the consumers, the bundles on this straight line, that is here the consumer spent his whole income to purchase bananas. That is the vertical intercept m divided by p2. Here that is the bundles on the straight line, the consumer purchased or spent his whole income to purchase mangoes. He doesn't purchase both the commodities. So, here the intercept, he spent whole income to purchase bananas. This intercept, vertical intercept, shows that he spent whole income to purchase mangoes. So, we can say that the slope of the budget line is, it is minus p1 divided by p2. In this diagram, the slope of the budget line shows it is minus p1 divided by p2. So, in this way we can explain the budget line and budget set. Let me know about the derivation of the slope of the budget line. Already I said the slope of the budget line is, it is minus p1 divided by p2. This minus the negative slopes, the minus which shows the negative slopes, that the budget line is sloping downwards. The sloping downwards means it is the negative slope p1 divided by p2. So, how we will get this minus p1 p2? That the derivation of the slope of the budget line is the quantity change in the one product, the quantity of change in one product required the per unit of change in another product along the budget line. So, derivation of the slope of the budget line, which measure the quantity of change in one product required to the per unit change in another product along the budget line. So, for example, we can say that the amount of change in the mango require the per unit of change in banana on the budget line is called as the derivation of the slope of the budget line. The amount of change in the mangoes, the quantity of change in one product, I said here I took it is mango, the quantity of change in one product is mango, we can written here it is a x2, required per unit of change in another product we took it is banana, it is x1. A mango we took it is x2 and banana it is x1 on the budget line. That is called as the derivation of the slope of the budget line. That we will explain with the help of a equation how we can derive the slope minus P1 by divided by P2. There is 2 points, 2 points x1, x2. That means there is 2 commodity x1, x2 is 1 point. Then another point x1 plus delta x1, x2 plus delta x2. So when we comes to this diagram, so which shows that is the budget line, that the budget line, the straight line which is downward sloping is the budget line. So slope we are right here, it's the change in the mangoes, the change in the quantity of the mangoes. Then here it is a change in the quantity per unit of change in the quantity of banana. This is x1, x2, here x1 plus delta x1, x2 plus delta x2 we are written. So there are 2 points we got x1, x2, x1 plus delta x1, x2 plus delta x2, the change in the two product. The income which is denoted in M, the letter M, the income is denoted in M. Then price of the x1, the price of commodity x1 we are written it is P1, the price of the commodity x2 we are written it is P2. The P1, P2 means it is the prices of the 2 commodities respectively. Then at point x1, x2, at a point x1, x2, that's the price of the x1, x2 we are written in the equation it is P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is equal to M. That is for the 2 commodities we are included the price. So we are written P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is equal to M. So here we are added, that is the price of these 2 commodities. To adding the prices will become P1 x1 plus P2 x2 which is equal to money income. We are written here it is equal to M. That is we took that is the equation number 1. Then at point x1 plus delta x1, x2 plus delta x2, in this point we add the price that P1 x1, here we are adding the P1 to this, the P1 x1 plus delta x1 plus P2 x2 plus delta x2 is equal to M. The prices of the changes in the 2 commodities we are written P1 x1 plus delta x1 plus P2 x2 plus delta x2 is equal to M. That we took it is the equation number 2. And if we derive it is P1 x1. So here P1 x1 plus P1 delta x1 we are written in this form P1 x1 plus P1 delta x1 plus P2 x2, this P2 x2 and P2 delta x2. Here it is P1 x1, then P1 delta x1, then it is equal to M. That is took as the equation number 3. So I think you got the point, student, how these points will come. So at the first point there are 2 points x1, x2, x1 plus delta x1, x2 plus delta x2. There are 2 points, separate 2 points. The income is denoted in the letter M. The price of the 2 commodity is P1 and P2. Then at point x1, x2 we are written it is P1 x1 plus P2 x2. We are added the price for this is equal to M. Then in this point x1 plus delta x1, x2 plus delta x2 added the price P1 x1 plus delta x1 plus P2 x2 plus delta x2 is equal to M. When we derive this we will get P1 x1 plus P1 delta x1 plus P2 x2 plus P2 delta x2 is equal to M. Then after that we have to subtract the one equation, the first equation should be subtracted from the equation number 3. So that's why we are written the first, the third equation. We are subtracting the first equation from the third equation. So we are writing the equation 3. We are written as P1 x1 plus P1 delta x1 plus P2 x2 plus P2 delta x2 minus subtracted the equation number 1. The equation number 1 is P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is equal to m. This is the m of the equation number 3, and this m is the equation number 1. Then we have to strike off the same letters, that is P1, here P1 x1. The P1 x1 is strike off to this P1 x1. Then P2 x2, the same common here, P2 x2, here cut off or strike off here P2 x2. The common letters are strike off. Then the remaining P1 delta x1 here written, P1 delta x1 plus P2 delta x2. Then if we cut off this income to this income, we will get it is 0. So the left letters, it is P1 delta x1 plus P2 delta x2 is equal to 0. Then we can write this P2 delta x2 this side, P2 delta x2 this side is equal to, when this plus sign comes this side, it will becomes minus. So minus P1 delta x1. So this P2 delta x2 written this side and is equal to P1. When P2 x2, we can write here like this, and let P2 delta x2 is equal, when this plus comes this side becomes minus. So P1 delta x1 is equal to 0. So P2, we are not writing here 0. So P2 delta x2 is equal minus P1 delta x1. Then delta x2 divided by delta x1, we will get delta x2. When this multiplication comes this side becomes the division. So delta x2 divided by delta x1 is equal, when this minus sign, the minus p divided by p2, this plus goes to that side, which will become minus p divided, so p1 divided by p2. So this is the slope of the budget line. I think you got the point how we got the minus or the negative slope of the budget line, p1 divided by p2. Another aspect we are going to study, optimal choice of the consumer. Optimal choice of the consumer. In economics, which is assumed that all the consumers are rational individual. The rational individual means every individual knows what is good or what is bad. In every situation, the rational consumer chooses those which is helpful to him, which he get maximum satisfaction. So that we are going to study, that the optimal choice of the consumer. In the bundles, which one is, which bundle, which combination is gives him the maximum satisfaction, the consumer chooses that combination. The rational consumer chooses that combination that we are going to study in this aspect, the optimal choice of the consumer, the optimum choice what the consumer makes. So that we will explain with the help of a diagram. So diagram shows the OX axis and OY axis. The OX axis, it is the commodity X1, OY axis commodity X2, and we can see here it is the budget line. There is one of the budget line we can take, it is PQ budget line. Then there are some of the indifference curves, the indifference map. See the IC1, IC2, IC3. So there are 3 indifference curves. There are some of the combination which are lies on the indifference curve 1, the some combination lies on the indifference curve 2, the some combination lies on the indifference curve 3. That the rational consumer chooses those combinations which lies on the budget line, which should be affordable to him. So here in this graph it shows that there is the point, there is the combination A and C which are lies on the indifference curve IC1. Here that the consumer does not makes the optimal choice, he does not want to choose that combination, and there is one of the combination B there, that the indifference curve, that is the combination on the indifference curve 2 which slightly touches or tangent to that price line. So this, that is the consumer, he makes the choose of this combination which is affordable to him, that the price is, or the price of the commodity is equal to his income. So that the combination D which is not affordable to the consumer, which is not available to the consumer, so he does not choose that combination which is, even though which is lies on the higher indifference curve. So we can say that in this diagram, that is the point B is the optimal choice, or the consumer, a rational consumer chooses the point B which is lies on the indifference curve 2. If it is below that price line, the consumer, if the point A and B is not optimum choice of the consumer, because this combination or these bundles are inferior to this point B, and the C is also inferior to point B. So in this we can say that a rational consumer chooses those combination which gives a higher satisfaction or greater satisfaction to him. So in this point, in this B point, where the point or the combination on the indifference curve 2 which tangent to the price line or the budget line, so this point is gives optimal choice of the consumer, which is also gives a greater satisfaction to the consumer. So in this way we can explain that is the optimal choice of the consumer. Let us study about demand. So what is this demand? Demand is the quantity of the commodity which the consumer wants to purchase with a given market prices and given period of time. That means, in another word we can say that is the desire to have things which is coupled with willingness and ability to purchase at a given market prices and at a given period is called as demand. The demand for a commodity at a market is determined by the factors. There are many factors which influences the demand of a commodity. For example, we can say it is the price of the commodity, and the income of the consumer, and the taste and the preferences of the consumer, and the prices of related goods, etc. are the factors which influences on the demand of a commodity. So we can take that the demand function, so demand function means it is the functional relationship between the demand, quantity demand, and the factors which are influences on demand. The demand function means it is functional relationship between quantity demand and the factors which is influences the demand of a commodity. We can write it is QD is equal to F of P means price of a commodity, income of the consumer, price of the related goods, and the taste and preferences of the consumer the taste and preferences of the consumers. So this is called as the demand function. Simple we can write, it is the quantity of demand is the function of P. The quantity of demand is the function of P. That means we took only the price of a commodity which influences on the demand of a commodity. We made the relationship between the price and the quantity demand, and all other factors remain constant. We made all other factors remain constant. There is not change in the other factors. Only when changes in the price there is a changes in the quantity demand. So we can write the linear demand function or a linear demand curve. Linear demand curve, that is Q D is equal to A minus B P. So the linear demand function can be written in this form. It is QD is equal to A minus B P. That is, here we got the intercept is negative. Why this intercept is negative? Let us know in this law of demand. The law of demand is also one of the important law that is based on the consumer behavior. What the law of demand says? The law of demand means there is an indirect relationship between the price and the quantity demand. There is an indirect relationship, or there is a negative relationship of a price and the demand for a commodity is called as the law of demand. So we can in other words say the law of demand means when other things remain constant, or other things remain constant or remains same, other things remain same. So other things remain same means what are the other things? So other things is it is the income of the consumer, the price of the related goods, and the taste and the preferences of the consumer remain same, means does not change in all these factors. Only there is a changes in the price, how it influences on the demand of a commodity. So other things remain same, that when the price increases, the quantity demand decrease. When the price increases, the quantity demand decrease. And when the price decrease, the quantity demand increases is called as law of demand. In simple way written. So that is to understand it is very simply I wrote in this way, that is other things remains constant. When the price of a commodity increases, the demand for that commodity decreases, and when the price of the commodity decreases, the demand for that commodity increases. So such law is called as law of demand. There is a indirect relationship where when one is increases, the another one start to decrease. When the price is decreases, the demand is increases. When the price increases, demand decreases. There is indirect or a negative relationship between price and quantity demand. When price decreases, demand increases. When we see in market, when we are going to market, where the behavior of the human being is that when the price of some commodity is less, we purchase more of that commodity, more quantities of that commodity. When the price of this particular commodity or prices of the commodities are more, we are purchase less of that commodity. The quantity of that commodity we are purchasing is less. So this is called as law of demand. So I said there is the negative intercept. So we are writing the linear demand curve QD is equal to A minus BP. So here I use the minus, that shows a negative relationship between the price and the quantity demand.